Now, so Gameloft have gifted yet another way of getting the Lamborghini Centenario, which is a very odd S-rank car. It's like definitely one of the kind of weaker S-rank cars in my opinion, just in terms of how it handles. There's definitely, in my opinion, quite a lot of the A-class cars, which are kind of more enjoyable to drive and quite frequently faster than it and definitely handle better than it. But at the same time, it's 750 packs to be unlocked, so I know that there's like 2.5 days worth of this event still going, so hopefully people are working through these packs. But just if you haven't noticed, this event is like doable by quite a lot of the B class cars. I generally, on such a short course, I stay away from anything with slowest acceleration, but yeah, it's also touch drivable by at least two of the cars with a small bit of assistance. So yeah, I'm gonna put like timestamps in down below for a regular run through this, a use of the touch drive 2 cars, and show you just a tiny bit of assistance that they require, and then of course the specific blueprints as well. So there'll be tags for each one of those down in the marker below as I just run through this one, because yeah, the Centenario is definitely worth chasing down. But at the same time, if you've got it maxed out, like a lot of longer term players would be, you're going to probably want to jump straight to the how can I touch drive this part of the video if you've been driving it. But say for the just regular race, going to make use here of the lowest of the B class cars that I have. To be honest, of all these low end ones, the 2K-ish rated, Jaguar F-Type and the DB11 are way more difficult anyway than the Porsche 911. Like, as much as this is a 2.1 rated car, like this is kind of the bare minimum requirement to get the 3 packs together from this from a B class car. If you've got lower down cars than this, you might have trouble 3 packing it without going to use an A class car for that 3rd pack. But yeah, the main issue you have with this track always is just there's one AI that starts to the right hand side of you, and on both using lower class cars like this one and say touch driving, you have to be aware of the fact that that car is probably going to try and slam into the side of your car. And this one is actually too slow to get hit by it. But yeah, just as long as you get yourself up along the wharf here, you should be fine with this car. You bring it up to the 200 mark and just yeah, kind of keep onto the nitro to get that speed back up across this beach area. Obviously, like this, like I said, the 2.1k of this is pretty much the limit of how low can you go in terms of making that 37 seconds. Just about. But it's possible to do it even in something that's that low rated and still get those 3 packs, just as long as you watch out for that AI from T-boning you at the start. He will just try and go straight into the car door. But yeah, taking that path with effectively any of the B class cars should be able to get you it from above the 2k rating or more. So the main issues you'd have is the DB11 and the F-Type. I would just avoid those completely. The Ford you can do it with, but if you get hit into the side, you're in trouble. And the same with the Cadillac CN. The exotic motors is perfect for it. The Lamborghini I haven't actually tried using, but it's heavy but fast. It might have trouble as well, because like these short tracks really don't kind of suit yeah, these slow acceleration cars. If you have access to the 488, the SCG, the F12, and more particular the Grand Sport Corvette or the Huracan Evo, like those are ideal for this, especially, and the Apollo N as well. Like even at kind of lower down ratings, those cars are way better at just the way this track is laid out. And those are the ones that you can also do a touch drive run of this. So the only thing you have to watch out for in touch drive is just that AI who would come at you from the right hand side at the start. So what I just make sure of, if I'm doing this and if I was doing other bits and pieces around the place, is just to keep an eye on it and just watch at the very start. And you may need to put the car just into any double tap nitro, so either the imperfect orange nitro or the blue nitro, while that AI on the right hand side is deciding if it wants to T-bone into the side of you or not. So it's just right here. All you need to do is just keep an eye and just say blue nitro, and yeah, that AI just gets completely dusted off the side. Select the middle track here, so you go up along the wharf, and then the last thing you need to do is just press the nitro button one time. And yeah, say like in a higher rated version of the Grand Sport and the Huracan Evo will do the exact same path on these, whereby they will ride all the way to the finish line and break that 37 seconds. The only thing, like I said, is just the car has to be in that blue or orange nitro state at the start of the race, or that AI will actually thump into you with a significant enough hit to make that 37 seconds not possible. If you want to take extra kind of attention to the car, or else if you have maybe a slightly lower rated version of them, what you can do, and I'll show that it with the Evo, say, even though I have it like tuned up a lot, is you can actually, if you're touch driving this, just to drift on the hard corners of it. So the Evo, I don't like, I've set the Evo at this a couple of times and had it successfully make the 37 seconds without telling that AI to go away at the start, because it kind of tends to run past it a small bit. But at the same time, I would just keep an eye, because it's as easy to watch the very start of the race if you're doing other things, like I said, and then just give one tap of AI right kind of here, just in case the AI decides to go into the side of you. Yeah, hop onto the middle ramp, but I use a bit of nitro there, and just using slight bit more nitro control, say if your cars are yeah, lower rated, so just drifting on the harsh corners, like say a drift here and a drift here, and again then just the other way for it is just to go onto that side ramp at the end, and you'll throw the car right towards the finish. So you can actually like do a touch drive in 34 seconds. So like even if you've got a lower down version of it, if you kind of do drifting on those hard corners, you should be able to, yeah, easily enough knock this one out with touch drive. It's just like I say again here, just make sure you've got either blue or orange nitro for that. But yeah, you see here, drift before going onto the wharf just to fill up the nitro, and then a boost into orange. So like you can do it with a bit more nitro management. So again, drift, boost, and then on the hard corner, drift, and then boost onto the back straight again, and then just throwing the car onto the upper ramp to give you that throw towards the finish line. And yeah, across the line, well enough time to make those 3 packs unlock. That one is possible, like I said, with the Evo and the Grand Sport, and if you take the extra management of it, you can do that with even lower tuned versions of those cars, no doubt. 3 seconds to spare there using that Evo. Now, the other thing is the Nissan GT-R Nismo and the VLF, both of those, and the kind of times you can get with a decent run of them. So like the Nismo, not exactly like a crazy fast off the grid car. The only thing you'd need to watch out for is, other than leaving the car in touch drive, which I will take care of straight away, because you're not going to touch drive those additional blueprints. But yeah, you just want to watch out for, again, that AI at the start is going to definitely be in T-bone mood for into the side of this. Well, like I showed in that the Huracan, or I mean the Grand Sport version of video, like you can easily kind of brush off that AI if it does decide to crash into the side of you. Just with any double tap of nitro will destroy AI on contact with your car. Even if you have to flick them forward like that. But yeah, again, just up onto the wharf, and you just get the car up to speed. I'm just going to take it out again here for the nitro, just to keep onto it. As long as you get to boost at along the beach is the main place where you're going to be kind of missing speed. And just wave the butt of this car around a bit just to get it back up to fill on that nitro, and throw it across the line. But like that's yeah, not exactly the most perfect run with a fairly well-tuned Nismo. But yeah, you can see the fact that the AI trying to get in the way of that car doesn't really help out too much, again, because it's not exactly the fastest acceleration off the line. But yeah, it definitely is one that, like, it's no bothers really to get to 35 seconds. The VLF Force 1 though, so like I have that one 400 rating off the top. It's just missing all the import parts. But this is a car that like has a lightning fast acceleration and top speed. So again, like it's really like from anything over the 3k rating kind of in this car, you should have no bother knocking out the all the blueprints for it if you go and fully grind this. I would imagine if you're a player who's got this car tuned up quite a bit, you probably not only have the Centenario but probably have it fully tuned as well, because I think this is the third time, if not fourth time, that the Centenario has appeared in a car hunt ride. The only difference is the fact that this time we've got it as a one on the Caribbean, because this track wasn't actually in game the last time this Centenario was up on a car hunt ride. So can't recall exactly which track it used for that, but yeah, it can't have been this guy, because like I said, it wasn't in the game the last time this was a car hunt. Which isn't too bad really, because like it's a nice short 35-second track for us. But 34.5 seconds there with AI interfering all over the place. But yeah, definitely like all well doable and grind outable. The thing is, I would definitely advise grinding this one as much as possible. Like say, especially if you have the Grand Sport and the Huracan Spyder Evo tuned up, just use those in the touch drive. And like I showed earlier, just a case of watch out for, ooh, good job to the Grand Tour. Well done, guys. But yeah, just as I was showing earlier, just a case of watch out for the AI coming at you from the side in both of those. And like the Huracan Spyder, if you've got that tuned up, that's the one kind of I would use. And just it refuels in about 40 minutes, and it takes 40 minutes for 4 tickets to clock up. So if you have either version of the Grand Sport or that Evo Spyder, just use those then in touch drive, and they'll be refueled every time the tickets are kind of refilled, and that way you can grind this one out fairly easily. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that, guys. There's a sub button over my head. I know this one's a bit late on the week, but hopefully if you've got some time left in this and you're like, oh, I don't know, will I grind out the rest of these, make use of the touch drive ability and see how you get on. And yeah, there's other videos of myself here, and I'll see what I can do with keeping more on time with these events while I am back at work for the time being. Hopefully everybody stays safe out there from any certain virus that's going around the place. Alright guys, happy hunting.